So my name is Shivy Williams. I am your health, wellness, and fitness accountability coach, and I help you reach your goals by holding you accountable for reaching them. And one way I do that is with these awesome motivational messages. So, this week I really have been doing some thinking. And one of the things that I did during a yoga session this week, I talked about the tongue. And I realized something that I was personally doing and really hadn't thought about it. And I think I've talked to y'all about it before, but really is about how we reach our goals. And when we're reaching our goals, what is it that we're saying on this healthy lifestyle journey? So if we're saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't get my stomach down, oh this, oh that. And I thought about that this week because that was something I was doing. So I've gotten a little bit older, I'm 47 now, and kind of hit the menopause, and my body is just not responding. And so I was a little frustrated this week because, let me tell y'all something, I put in so much work on that treadmill this week, running and walking, and my weight did not budge. And my stomach did not go down, not even 1 inch. The weight went back up, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on with my body? But then I thought about it. What am I actually saying to myself about my body and about my journey? Number one, I haven't been eating bad, like extremely bad, but I haven't really not been eating the way I know I should be. Now, with that being said, because I am kind of going through this whole menopause thing, that may not necessarily always help, right? As your body loses estrogen. So, but I was like, okay, make sure you're eating at the level you're supposed to be eating at. And then I needed to buy some new clothes. So I was like, oh man, I really don't feel like buying clothes because some of them have gotten too tight. But then I really was talking about, I've always been very self-conscious about my stomach. And so for it to be like over the top of my pants and my pants being too big, and just me thinking about that and then starting to say stuff like, oh my gosh, like, is my stomach ever going to go back down? Like, I'm working really hard at trying to get this. But you guys, I just want to be real and honest with you guys. I just have to change the way I think about my body and what it's going through right now. And so sometimes when you're on this journey, regardless of what your age is, you just have to reverse the way you're thinking and reverse what you're saying. So what? Okay, so my stomach is not where it used to be like a few years ago, but I'm not where I used to be as far as just my life in general. And I'm realizing that, for this whole entire menopause thing I'm going through and the way my body is changing, I'm just going to accept it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to eat as healthy as I possibly can. I'm going to still work out. And if my body decides to take a different path, then what am I going to do about that? There's nothing I can do. I refuse to have surgery. I refuse to do anything with my stomach, like get liposuction or do any of those things. I'd rather just do things natural. And so, I think I've just come to realize this week, like I've already had kind of started changing my thought process about menopause and the things that are happening to me during menopause. And sometimes, like some of you, I'm really strong and I'm all 100% and I got this under control. And then other days or other weeks, I'm just like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, I just feel like I step on the scale and the number is like here. And I'm like, well, I don't want the number to be at 148. And some of you are like, that's not bad. It's not bad. That's like saying someone is 180 pounds and you're 250 and they say I'm 180, and then they say to you, oh, that's not bad, when that's not where you want to be. Maybe you want to be at 160 or 170, right? And so, I don't want to be far from that, but just the change. And then on top of that, I know I'm not moving as much as I used to. So you all probably see me and I'm working out, and I get up, I work out in the morning. So I'm going to kind of break down what that means. I am actually burning less calories than I did pre-COVID. And what that means is, one, I was in the gym. So, weightlifting burns a lot of calories. You don't have to do the cardio. The cardio burns calories, but it also burns your muscle. And so not lifting weights as much as I used to, so not burning as many calories, not hiking, right? Not hiking on Saturdays like I used to do, which would be like sometimes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on which trail I took, right? More calories not burned. when I was in the office working at lunch, especially in the summer, I am such a summer person. I love to be outdoors. So in the summer, I would be walking at lunch for at least 20, 30 minutes. So burning more calories in the sun, getting my vitamin D, that's been eliminated, right? And so now I do work out. And although I don't do the same amount of cardio. I'm not in the gym, not lifting weights, still working out. And so I was like, oh my gosh, all of those things actually really do make a difference. So the difference between what you see me do, like if you're just starting and you see me doing this, you will probably lose weight because your body's not used to you burning that many calories or doing that. Where someone who is very, very active and they cut back on how much activity they're doing, they will then probably begin to lose weight, especially if they're not following the same eating habits. So a lot of times during this time, it is our eating habits that are taking us down. And so even for those of you who probably were not as active, one of the things you probably see is that you've probably picked up weight because of your eating habits, where your eating habits are not the same as they probably were pre-COVID. And even if they were, if you were going to work, you still moved more than you did now than being in the house. And just the stress of COVID has caused people to eat more. And so one of the things I just want to suggest to y'all is, please, especially if you've been working out and you're working out hard and you're not seeing any type of results, don't beat yourself up about it, right? Just keep doing whatever you can do to stay, at least maintain where you're at, until you can either get back in the gym, which a lot of people have started to go back to, and you can start being more active. But again, it is always going to be about the food we eat. And once you reach a certain age level, even when it comes to menopause, everybody's body does something different. So some people do not go through what I'm going through with the extra body fat. Some women do. Some women pick up a lot more extra body fat, and then some women don't. Then you have women who start after menopause working out, and their bodies look amazing, right? And so I think it just depends. You have to kind of do research, and not just research like I'm going to do some Google search, I'm going to research what menopause does, because you should, but then you have to research what your own body needs for menopause, or what your own body needs for the healthy lifestyle journey. So forget menopause. Let's don't even talk about that anymore, because that's just where I'm struggling and I'm at right now. But let's say you're not going through any of that. So then you research your own body, because do you guys know sometimes the older you get, your body responds to different things. Maybe you've become allergic to something, right? So you become allergic to something, and your body's responding to the allergy. So some people get allergy tests done because now they become allergic to certain foods and should not be eating them anymore. And so I just really want you guys to realize, when you start seeing changes in your body, and you may think, oh, it's COVID, but it may not be. Right? It just may not be COVID and the responses to COVID. So just know that you have to do some research. Maybe you shouldn't be eating nuts anymore. Maybe if you drink milk, maybe you shouldn't be drinking milk anymore. Maybe it's something in your diet that is causing your body to respond. So there's always so many things that are going on. Maybe you don't get enough sleep, right? Stress and sleep could also play a factor. If you're not getting enough sleep, and you're not getting enough rest, that can cause your body to gain some body fat. So realize that also. Stress and lack of sleep. Maybe try getting more sleep. Try to do things that relax you a little bit more. Read a book, take a bath, listen to music, watch a comedy show, something else to release some of the stress that you may be having in your life. And so, I also thought about this the other day. Sometimes our issue could be depression. And I am really happy to say that I'm glad to see that more Black men and women are actually going to go seek help, because they have realized that they are depressed. And being in COVID-19 can cause a lot of people to be depressed. And so with that being said, depression causes so many more issues, and sometimes, as I said, sometimes people don't know that that's what the problem is. Or they don't realize that they are depressed. But being in depression can cause you to eat more. As a matter of fact, it can even cause you to eat less, which is not healthy either. You know, it can cause lack of sleep, or it can cause you to sleep a lot more than you usually sleep. It can bring on stress. So take a look at your life, and are you depressed? And be honest with yourself. And if you are, a lot of jobs, I know where I work at full time, we have people we can talk to. You need to talk to, not friends, you need to talk to a professional person. Or maybe if your friend is someone in the professional field and they're a psychiatrist, or they're a therapist, right? You need to see a therapist. Then I have a therapist on speed dial, and she knows she's my therapist on speed dial because it's my sister. And let me tell you guys something. I'm gonna tell you about my little experience, and then I'm gonna be done with my sister being my therapist. So I want you guys to realize something. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with going. There's nothing wrong with talking to people, because what you'll realize, it will help to lift off the stress. I think sometimes when people think about seeing a therapist, that means you have to open up. And a lot of us don't want to be vulnerable to opening up and talking about what's going on with us. And sometimes our weight gain or our weight loss doesn't happen because we have so many things built up, pinned up inside of us from our past. Maybe something from your childhood. Maybe you were abused sexually, emotionally, mentally. Maybe just the loss of a job. Maybe the loss of a loved one. Or all those things can cause us to be unhealthy in our healthy lifestyle journey, regardless of what we're eating healthy, we are exercising, but our mental and emotional state are causing us not to reach our goal. And so sometimes we have to talk to people about that. And the professional is the best one, because they don't give you, they sometimes I think they don't even really give you advice. They let you talk it out without any, no judgment, right? There's no judgment. So I'm very careful when I talk to my sister, because I try not to get up on her couch, because she's my sister. And it is very easy to get up on her therapy couch talking to her on the phone. I just have to laugh, because some of you may face this. You might go see a therapist and you're like, I just really don't want to talk about this, because they're going to ask me certain questions. My sister will ask me certain questions, and I'm like, I don't want to answer these questions. And part of that, going through that process, is her trying to understand where I'm at, so she can kind of get a better idea. But part of that process, I think, is just me being able to talk, and she doesn't judge, and then realizing, oh, maybe this is where my issue is. Right? And maybe I might need to make some changes. So just being able to express yourself. And again, it's great to talk to friends and other family member, but it is really great to talk to someone that is licensed, that has been through this, that's not going to give you bad advice, or advice that is not going to be beneficial to your life. And so you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to talk to someone. And then once you get some of those emotional stresses and mental stresses off of you, it will probably help with your weight loss, right? Emotional, mental, emotional, physical, all of these things that are in our life, they all work hand in hand, right? So if you're stressed out, if you're financially stressed out, if you're emotionally stressed out, if you're mentally stressed out, all of those things work against your weight loss journey, right? If you're physically stressed out because you're like, oh my God, I can't even walk around the block. I can't even walk up and down the stairs. If you're just stressed out in any of those states, they all can play a part in your weight loss journey, even in your healthy lifestyle journey, right? And so I just want to encourage you guys to take breaks, take some time out for yourself, and then research your own self to see what may be causing you not to get to where you want on your journey. It can be something physical, mental, emotional. It could be finances. It can be lack of sleep, right? It could be food you're eating or not eating. It could be a bunch of different things. It could just be the way you think. It can be depression. It can be anxiety. It can be in any form. So take a look internally. Think about what it is that is causing you to possibly not reach your goals, and then think about how you can change that. You can take baby steps, right? Maybe it is, okay, I have this free service at work and I can talk to a therapist. Maybe I give that a shot. Maybe I try that and see where it goes. Again, so many things happen to people in their childhood that they think they're over, but sometimes those things creep back up. And sometimes those are the things that are blocking us from reaching our goal. So maybe it's also, maybe you've been divorced and you're like, I'm over this divorce, but maybe deep down, really inside, you may not be, right? Or maybe there's a death in the family, right? So I can speak from my own personal experience. I have lost 2 babies at 34 weeks, right? And so the loss of a child, like if you want to be a parent and you lose a child, regardless of what stage of life it's in, and then like some people miscarry, and everybody's response to a child loss prior to them being born, like if you've had a stillborn or a miscarriage, everybody's response is different. Like I am good and I am great, and I didn't have to do a lot of praying, but I did pray. And you know what I did? I changed the way I thought about my loss, especially now. But I changed the way I thought about my loss. And I said, you know what? I got two sons that are now in heaven. And these are 2 sons I never ever have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the police. And would I have loved for them to be here? Of course, who would not? But I thought different about that. And so that's how I worked through that, and that's how I've gotten through that, and it allows me to share my story when I do tell it to people. And so people have lost children after being born or right up to the delivery. I saw a story the other day, someone right up to the delivery, they were 41 weeks. Right, overdue, and I had to put the emergency C-section and lost the baby, right? So it's like you get put under and you wake up and now you think you're gonna have a baby to hold and to raise, and you don't, right? And then people lose babies in crib death. And then just any loss at all, parent, sibling, anything, that can take people down a spiral also. So just know that we have things that have happened to us that we may be having, that those things are inside of us and pent up, that we really need to talk to someone about to help release some of that anxiety or that stress, and just to kind of get through life and not go through it alone or by yourself. And don't think that other people have not been through what you've been through. I'm not saying you have to tell your story and share it with everybody, but it is good to talk to a therapist about that. So y'all, I don't know what I was doing today, but that's my kind of motivational message. I just want y'all to know that going through this journey, doesn't matter the age, does not matter the time period, doesn't matter if it's COVID or not, right? What does matter is that you're doing your best, you're trying your best, which means you're eating as healthy as possible and you're exercising. And one thing to know is that if you get off track, it's okay. You can always get back up. I ate cake last night. I had a slice of lemon cake last night, and I had 2 donuts this morning. Did I beat myself up about it? No. Some of you are going to be like, yeah, but you exercise all the time. Guess what? Just because you exercise all the time does not mean that you're not going to pick up body fat. I exercise all the time. My pants too tight. I need to buy a bigger size. I exercise all the time, right? Does not mean that you're not going to pick up weight or body fat or any of those other things. But I don't eat that all the time, and I don't stress out about eating it anymore. I never have, actually, really. But if I feel like eating it, then I'm just gonna eat it. It's just that plain simple. So some people can and some people can't, and that's perfectly fine. Just do the research on your own body. Stop trying to figure out what other people have done on their healthy lifestyle journey to get them to where they are, because sometimes you're not going to do what they did to get there. They can give you their whole entire plan. People have done it. They'll be like, well, I changed the way I ate, or I went vegan, or I'm vegetarian now. And you're like, I'm not going to be vegetarian. Right. Or there are people that work out twice a day. There are people that work out for 2 hours. I work out for almost about 2 hours Monday through Saturday. Right? That includes doing yoga, which is not very, does not get my heart rate up into anything like as far as fat loss, but it does help my mental state. So, some people, you're just not willing to do that, and that's okay. Then research what you are willing to do, and then take that and go from there. Again, you may not eat foods that other people eat. Some people can have milk and it's fine with their body. Some people cannot. And so just do your best. You know what you need to cut out, right? You know what you need to cut out, and then start there. Cut out fried foods. Eat more green vegetables. Cut back on salt. You know, you need to have protein. It's okay to have carbs. Just watch your carb intake. You could try Mediterranean diet. There are people who love keto. You can try different things and see how your body responds. If it doesn't work, then change it and do something else. All right, y'all, that's my motivational message for today. And I hope that helped at least one person kind of be like, let me take a look at what I'm doing and get back on track, or to get on track. All you do is take baby steps. And my last advice is this. Pre-COVID, a lot of you probably have said, if I had the time to work out, I would. And now you have the time to work out and you're still not doing it. So what that tells me is that is not the reason for you not working out, right? It wasn't because you didn't have time, because now you have time and now you still don't work out. That means it might be something mental, right? You just maybe don't want to work out. Just admit that. Admit and be truthful to yourself. Maybe you just don't want to work out, right? Because now the time you would have taken to travel to work, to get up, you're not even getting up at that time anymore. And that's time that you can take to work out now. Also, you don't even need a gym. You can just go straight to YouTube. There are so many y'all know I do free YouTube workouts, 30 minutes a day. I will not go over 30 minutes Monday through Friday on a workout. And Friday is even less. I will not go over 30 minutes for a workout with you guys. You got 30 minutes. You can do it in the morning, in the afternoon, at lunch. It doesn't matter. And you don't even need to buy weights. Go buy you some water jugs. 1 gallon jugs, 8.5 pounds, you got weights. Don't take the tops off, right? All we do though is we come up with excuses on why we cannot. Why not turn those excuses into reasoning for doing it? And you don't even need weights, right? You could just there's so many videos that you can do, like any type of exercise that you can dance, like a Zumba type thing. It's free. Just go. And it's accessible from any device you have, phone. But of course, people are going to say, well, my phone is too small. Who cares? Tablets, computers, y'all have it at your fingertips. Use it. All right, y'all. So for the month of November, I will be doing a ab challenge. So be on the lookout for that. It is going to be $8 for the whole entire month. And I hope to see y'all in it, right? No more excuses. I'm sweating. I will see y'all in the next video. Tomorrow morning, I will be doing a 30-minute workout. You don't have to start on Mondays. You don't have to start at the beginning of the month. Just start. Check out my website, www.lbxfitness.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, LB. All of my videos are there. All of the workout videos, all of you yoga videos. Check it out. Get some workouts in, and I will see y'all in the next video. My YouTube channel, LBX Fitness. Subscribe, click the bell. I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.
Keep pushing on. Things are gonna get better.